Starting to look pretty good. I'm excited about this. This is Thomas Kinkade welcoming everybody to Ivy Gate Studio. This is where I create the paintings, and the one I'm working on right now has got me so excited. Every time I paint San Francisco, I try to get a different vision, but yet still create that sense of connection to the earlier paintings. This one started in a pretty interesting way. I actually set up my easel and painted this plein air painting on Powell Street. It's a view looking down Powell Street towards Union Square. Now, my very first San Francisco print was of Union Square, so on my 25th anniversary as a published artist, I'm really having fun coming full circle in a sense, as well as launching out in new directions. People will notice that this composition is very reminiscent of the most popular street scene painting I ever did, which was California Street, San Francisco. You have the same sense of the cable cars coming up the street. You have a lot of cool signs. I even have some hidden references that I think you'll enjoy. For example, you'll have to figure out for yourself who the foreman of the cable car is. Our engineer who's driving the cable car is a personality you might recognize. A few of the passengers on the cable car might also be people you will recognize as having been associated with the city by the bay. This is an extraordinarily detailed painting, and the challenge that I love to undertake as an artist is to create a sense of amazing detail and overwhelming sense of fine point finishing in the painting, yet in a context of epic sweeping mood. You know, this great sense of depth and mood and emotion, and yet fine detail that rewards the eye as you explore around. Of course, in this painting, we have a lot of fun details, including tributes to all four of my kids. You'll see their names on various signs here along Powell Street. One of the landmarks of Powell Street is the world-famous Starlight Roof atop the Sir Francis Drake Hotel there right on Union Square, or right off Union Square, I should say. Of course, that's part of the scene. You see the famous star atop the building itself, and that has been a landmark in San Francisco for decades. The cable cars, of course, are wonderful. I had fun recreating the classic cable car facade. This dates back to the California Street line, and it was a different finish that was used on the cable cars that ran up and down Powell Street, but I love this look of the classic cable car facade. So we have vintage vehicles throughout the painting. Many of these vehicles you will be able to identify if you are an auto buff. I love the wispy sense of clouds and fog that dances amongst the buildings and hovers upon the street. San Francisco is wonderful in the sense of soft edges. Of course, we see the Bay Bridge out in the distance. That's why I'm a fantasy painter. I mean, I love to change things and make it more romantic than it is. And in fact, the buildings in the left of the composition block the view of the Bay Bridge, so I just move the bridge over a few miles and we're all happy. But my passion is to make the scene work, and as I've said so often, I've moved bridges before. I've even moved mountains. Heck, I will change the scene any way I can to make it more powerful as a painting. The bottom line is, when you take a look at this painting, this is the city by the bay. I hope you enjoy it. This is Thomas Kinkade. Now I'm going to get back to work.